Hello and welcome to today's live. So before I even get started, I just want to advocate for normalising not wearing your shirt when you're outside, especially if it's sunny. I feel like people look at you kind of like it's a weird thing, and it just makes me think how far we have strayed from nature. You know, it's like even here I'm walking along the beach and people look at you like kind of you're a little bit weird and nobody else is doing it. Like, let's normalise that. That's a thing that we need more of. So if you're out and you want to take your shirt off, just do it. And as soon as you become aware that you're modifying your behaviour because of what other people think, that is a reason to just jump and just do it. Just do it. It's hard, but just do it and you'll get used to it. So today I want to tell you about, recently I had a little run-in with depression. And depression is, so first of all, I think whenever you talk about depression, or let's even take it a step further, so I didn't go this far, but if you talk about like suicidality or feeling suicidal, the immediate sort of like jump response is like, oh, make sure you're getting help, like, oh, make sure you don't kill yourself, or oh, I feel really bad that you feel depressed. And it's like, I get it, I get that, I can understand that side of things, but let's just normalize like feeling depressed and acknowledge that at most point in your life, or at some point in most people's lives, you're going to feel depressed or you're going to feel potentially suicidal. Doesn't mean you're going to kill yourself, doesn't mean this is your life for the rest of your life, but it's like if you don't talk about these things, then they're just going to get worse, you know? So again, that's something else to normalize. Let's talk about when you don't feel that good and just like, it's okay. Oh, got a little fly. So it's normal, it's fine, but it's a clue, it's an indicator. This is the thing with our emotions, is they're trying to direct you. They're a compass. They're trying to move you towards what you want from your life and away from what you don't want. So I had a two-pronged, let's look at this from a root cause approach, right? So I had a two-pronged root cause of this depression, this little flare-up of depression. So actually, let's say it's three. So the emotional root cause underlying all of this was I've just started learning about the emotion code. I just finished the book. I've started applying the practice learned in the book. And I released an emotion of depression that I absorbed from my mum when she was pregnant with me in the second trimester. You're going to ask me, how the hell did you figure that out? Using kinesiology and muscle testing. So I'm going to talk more about this in the workshop that we've got coming up about emotional root cause, metaphysics, stuff like that. If you're interested in that, please let me know. Leave a mind blown emoji below. If you've left a mind blown emoji on any of my other posts before, I've sent you a message already. If I haven't sent you a message, I don't know you want to come. So make sure you let me know you want to come. So it's very interesting the way that this works. So there was this absorbed depression, so I was experiencing this emotion again, and it came to my awareness. So looking at this from a metaphysical perspective, I know my mum was in a very difficult place during her pregnancy with me, and I would not be surprised at all if she ran out of some nutrients, because I know she definitely wasn't eating the right diet. And I think that this was folic acid or folate, and I think that this caused a level of chemical depression in her. So she experienced this chemical depression, which she would then have some kind of addictive behaviour that she would use to quiet down the volume of this emotion, but she couldn't do that because she was pregnant with me. So she just had this extremely intense emotion of depression, and I absorbed it. And metaphysically, the underlying thing happening here was a nutritional deficiency that I think was folic acid or folate. And just recently, this depression that I've experienced has coincided with a drop in my folate levels. I hadn't been taking enough of my methylfolate supplement. So I was experiencing the emotional feeling of release from this trauma. So there's the underlying energetic emotional root cause. But then on top of that, there was this chemical nutritional deficiency, which also facilitates a chemical depression in the body. But these things are linked. They're indivisible. They happened at the same time because of each other. You know, they coincided. And this is the thing with metaphysics. Almost everything that happens metaphysically that has this emotional root cause connection, or this metaphysical sort of, like, the way that I like to look at it is everything's happening, and it's this kind of like little tapestry of energy that's intertwined between everything. And it can help you understand a lot more about what's happening and like the themes and the energies. But you can literally almost every single time you can out-rationalize metaphysics to some physical thing that's happening. Oh, he felt depressed, it was just a nutritional deficiency. It's like, yes, and that's how metaphysics work. Metaphysics doesn't mean that this is the only thing that's happening. This is kind of like the glue that's sticking everything together. It helps you see everything from a more holistic perspective and understand why this isn't just a random experience of depression that I experienced. There's actually some underlying connection to it. So, title of this live: Inflammation and Comparisonitis are a recipe for depression. So, in this case, I caused a lot of inflammation in my body. So, inflammation for many reasons. I'm still healing my wrist, so you can imagine extra inflammation. A nutritional deficiency causes such a significant level of inflammation in the body because your body is functioning all the time. Every time it's metabolizing energy, it's producing reactive oxygen species all of the time. Regardless of what you eat, regardless of what you do, just being alive, you are producing oxidative stress. That's how you unlock energy from the food you eat. It's reactive oxygen species producing process. It happens. And your body has mechanisms to keep up with that. But if you're deficient in some of the nutrients that you need to do that, then you're going to create a massive reactive oxygen cascade because you're deficient in the nutrient that you need to stop this reactive oxygen cascade from occurring. So yes, there was a physiological root of this depression, and resolving that, so increasing my methylfolate temporarily to bring my stores back up, is helping. But then it also made me realise that I was suffering with what I'm calling comparisonitis. So this is where you compare yourself to other people, and like, I hate social media for this. It's so bad. It made me realise, like, I'm following people and all I do is I see people as like above me and that I'm intimidated by them and they make me feel really shit about myself. Or there's people that I see as like before me in my journey, and these are people that I want to try and help them move up to the step where I am. And the biggest problem that I've realised I have is not only do I compare myself to these people that I see on social media, I compare myself to people that like they're not even in the same age bracket as me. Like they're 10 years ahead of me and they're making like more money than me, and I feel really bad about myself, about my business, about my self-worth. And it's like, if I look at it realistically, I think, well, when I'm their age, I'll probably be making the same amount of money that they are anyway. But it's just that I'm comparing myself to them constantly. So becoming aware of this was really helpful. It made me just realise, like, well, actually, it just made me just drop all this. And I'm just like, I don't really care. I'm not going to compare myself to these people anymore. This isn't helpful. I'm just going to stop doing it. And that was it. I stopped doing it, and immediately I felt like a million times better. So if you're comparing yourself to even just to other people, regardless, like you'll compare yourself to the achievements that they post on social media. You don't know what they've been through in their life. You don't know, like, you don't even know half the stuff that you've been through in your life. You don't know how it's affected you, the subconscious sabotage patterns you've picked up, the struggles that you've been through, and you're comparing yourself to somebody that's had a completely different life experience. They might have been more advantaged, they might have been more disadvantaged, they might have been really lucky, you know. Sometimes people just get fortunate, and that's the difference between success and not. Right place, right time kind of thing. And again, this is if you can understand the metaphysics of it. You understand luck isn't a real thing. It's if you can get yourself in tune with this metaphysical underprint of everything that's happening, you can make yourself very lucky. And to people that don't understand this, they're like, how is he so lucky? How is he so fortunate? How is everything working for him when he doesn't look like he's putting in that much effort? And it's like, because instead of working, so it's the work smart, not hard thing. Being in the right place at the right time, making sure that your energy is right before your action is right. And you can get stuck in a very vicious cycle where you don't take any action because you're trying to constantly perfect your energy. I find that it's, as with all things in life, it's a balance between the two. Focus on making sure that you get your energy right, and know that that's the most important thing that you can prioritize, but know at the same time, like, life is still happening. Like, the hamster wheel is still spinning. You have to be doing something, you know. Like, I put this in perspective of my business, because it's the thing that's most applicable for me right now. So it's like, but you could apply this to a health approach as well. It's like, I want to dial my messaging in to target the exact right people at the exact right price point to make me have to do as little work as possible and get my clients the best results possible. So it's like, that's the perfect formula. And I could just sit on that and stew on that all day and not do anything because I want to get it absolutely perfect before I take action. But I'm never going to get there unless I'm actually in the trenches, you know. I have to be doing it imperfectly. I have to be making offers to work with people. I have to be trying to help people solve the problems, even if it's a a bit of a challenge for me, you know? It's like, that's how we grow. That's how you perfect it. You don't perfect it through theory. You perfect it through doing. It's kind of like that saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. In the same way as that, imperfect action is more beneficial to your growth than 1,000 unimplemented, perfected thoughts and ideas. It's like, you have to do something. So don't get caught up in not doing anything. Make sure that you're doing stuff, take action, do things, but also know that it's not just the action that's important, it's the metaphysics and it's the energy underneath it and behind it that really makes the difference. That's really going to change the direction of everything that's happening in your life. So don't get caught up in making it perfect. Start doing stuff, but know that getting your energy right is really important. So I think the most important thing I can say that will be more applicable to you is don't compare yourself to me, right? You're in a completely different place to me. You're on a completely different trajectory, you're on a completely different path, you've been more advantaged or disadvantaged in different ways. Like, I generally, I'm sort of only posting when I feel like better. Like, you don't hear about my struggles and my pains so much. I try to, because I try to give a realistic picture of like authentic healing, what it actually looks like. So let me break it down for you right now. You might be thinking like, oh, he's sitting out at the beach, like he's got perfect health, everything's great. I'm really exhausted today. I went for a run for the first time yesterday. My legs are absolutely killing me. My feet really hurt. I tried lentils for the first time yesterday and I'm having some weird reflux happening. I don't know what's happening, you know? I don't have perfect health. I'm figuring it out as we go. And what I think is happening right now is I've been afforded this opportunity of having reflux to try and, first of all, I'm testing my kinesiology. So I'm using my muscle testing to try and help me get out of my own way. So to my own mind, reflux means low stomach acid, the valve at the top isn't closed properly, I'm getting reflux because I need stronger stomach acid. So I did kinesiology, I muscle tested myself to see what's actually happening. And my body told me, your stomach acid's too high, all your valves are working fine, this isn't emotional, it's a physical problem, you have too much acid right now. And I'm like, okay, so in that case, I need to go and take some antacids. And it's like, to hear me think that, like you must think like, wow, where's he going with this? But it's like, this is what it's like. When you let go of control and you're trying to be taken towards where you want to go, you're going to have to do things that go against your beliefs. You're going to have to try things that are against the narrative that you have running in your mind. Because the narrative that you have running in your mind is what got you here in the first place. So if you want to change where you are, you have to change the way that you're thinking. You have to change your behaviours. And it's really hard to do that just sporadically and to trust your intuition when your intuition is such a quiet voice and you've not been listening to it for a long time. But then to do kinesiology and muscle testing, and so I was standing in the pharmacy and we've got the antacids like up there, and I test myself. I'm asking my body, do you want this one? It says no. Do you want this one? No. Do you want this one? Yes. It's like, okay, we buy that one. Go and sit in the car. Ask my body, how many do we want? You're not perfect. You will achieve what it is you want to achieve by changing the way that you're behaving and the way that you're thinking. So shift your beliefs, still not perfect, but yeah, life's not perfect, doesn't mean you shouldn't take action. I was afraid to do this live, I'm doing it. It's like, just do something, right? Just take action, try and change the narrative, try and change what you're doing, because change is good. Change is going to change your situation, you know, but it's not going to change if you don't change anything. So try changing things. That's everything for me today. Have a lovely day. See you soon. Ciao.